Okay, welcome in. I'm now going to be reviewing Friday's action from the Major League Baseball season. There were a total of 14 games, so let's dive into it. The first one took place in Chicago, where the Cubs were playing host to the Miami Marlins. They would win this contest 8-3 would be the final score. They have now improved to 12-7, while the Marlins are 12 games below 500 with a record of 4-16. Jamison Talon is 1-0 as a starter, and AJ Puck is 0-4. AJ Poop, one of those two. The Boston Red Sox were taking on the Pittsburgh Pirates. They would win this contest 8-1 would be the final score. They're now one game above 500 with an 11-10 record, and the Pittsburgh Pirates are 11-9 after the loss. Brian Bello is 3-1 as a starter, while Quinn Priester is 0-1. Chicago White Sox went into Philadelphia to take on Phillies. Phillies would shut out the White Sox 7-0 would be the final score. They have now improved to 12-8, while the White Sox have now dropped to 3-16. That's 13 games below 500. Not a very good start to start out the season. Spencer Turnbull picked up his second win of the season. He's now 2-0. Garrett Crochet is 1-3 after the loss. The Los Angeles Angels went into Cincinnati to take on the Reds. The Reds would win this one 7-1 would be the final score. They are now sitting at 10-9, and the Angels have now dropped 2 games below 500 with a 9-11 record. Nick Lododl is 2-0 as a starter, while Tyler Anderson suffered the loss. He's 1-2. The Washington Nationals were playing host to the Houston Astros. The Astros would get a road victory in this one. 5-3 would be the final score. After the win, the Astros are still 7 games below 500 with a 7-14 record. And after the loss, the Nationals are 8-11. Justin Verlander picked up his first win of the season. Mackenzie Gore suffered his first loss. And Josh Hader would get his third save for Houston. The Tampa Bay Rays were taking on the New York Yankees. The Yankees would win this one 5-3 would be the final score, improving their record of 14-6. And after the loss, the Rays are 11-10. Dennis Santana is 1-0 as a starter. Chris Davinsky suffered the loss. He's 0-1, and Clay Holmes picked up his 8th save. The Cleveland Guardians were playing host to the Oakland A's. The final score would be 10-2 in favor of the Guardians. They have now improved to 14-6, while the A's have dropped to 8-12. Tristan McKenzie is 2-2 after the victory on the season, while Joe Boyle suffered the loss. He's 1-3. The Atlanta Braves are taking on the Texas Rangers. The final score in this contest would be 8-3. Atlanta has now improved to 13-5, while the Texas Rangers are 11-10. Chris Sale is 2-1 on the season after the victory, while Jacob Latz is 0-1 after the loss. The Kansas City Royals were playing host to the Baltimore Orioles. 9-4 would be the final score in favor of KC. They have now improved to 13-7, while the Orioles are just a half game back of them. They are 12-7. Alex Marsh is still perfect on the season. He has a 3-0 record, while Dean Kremer is 0-2. The Detroit Tigers were taking on the Minnesota Twins. They would get a road victory in this one, a very close contest. 5-4 would be the final score. Detroit's now improved to 11-9, while the Twins are 6 games below 500 with a 6-12 record. Andrew Chafin is 2-0 as a starter. Caleb Thielbar is 0-1, and Jason Foley picked up his 6th save for the Tigers. The Milwaukee Brewers were in St. Louis to take on the Cardinals, a very low-scoring affair. 2-1 would be the final score. Milwaukee they are now sitting at 12-6, while the St. Louis Cardinals are 2 games below 500 with a 9-11 record. Joel Payamps would get the win. He is now 1-1 on the season, while Ryan Helsley is 1-2 after the loss. Hobie Milner would pick up his first save of the year. Wow. I'm struggling with names as I'm getting to the end of the video. The San Diego Padres would play host to the Toronto Blue Jays. The Blue Jays would get a road win. 5-1 would be the final score. They're now sitting at 11-9. After the loss, the Padres are back to 500 with an 11-11 record. Bowden Francis got the win. He's now 2-2 as a starter, while Matt Waldron suffered the loss. He's 0-2. The Los Angeles Dodgers were playing host to the New York Mets. The Mets would win this one 9-4 would be the final score. They have now improved to 11-8 on the season. After the loss, the Dodgers are 12-10. Reed Garrett would get the win for the Mets. He's now 3-0 as a starter, while Daniel Hudson is 1-1. The final game from Friday's action was a blowout, to say the least. 17-1 would be the final score in favor of the Arizona Diamondbacks. After this massive win, they'd pick up their 10th win of the season. They're now 10-11, while the Giants, after a huge loss, are 3 games below 500. They're sitting at 9-12. Jordan Montgomery would pick up his first win of the season, while Blake Snell suffered the loss. Alrighty, that takes care of my recap from the Major League Baseball season. As always, if you're new to this channel and you like this type of content, please feel free to hit the sub button. I'd be very grateful and very appreciative. Until next time, take care.